Hey everybody, welcome to my second subscriber gameplay review. We're back on board with Smartan 427 again. For this time we're looking at a regicide gameplay on Dispatch. I like this gameplay a lot more than the one on Haven. I think he played an outstanding game this game, and he really he puts on a clinic with the regen armor ability. If you've never used the regen or you kind of struggle with it, this is a great gameplay to watch because he knows exactly what he's doing with it, and he makes a lot of great decisions this game. There's a couple things he can do better, and I'll highlight those, and I'll definitely highlight the good decisions he's making as well. But without further ado, let's get this started here.
Regicide.
Alright, he spawns initially on blue flag here, and now one of the things I talked about in my free-for-all improvement episode 2 is your initial spawn on Dispatch. You either want to go for an overshield or snipe. Now, I prefer to go for overshield because it's easier to get kills with, but it's very hectic at the beginning of the game because a lot of people want to go for it. So that decision of whether to go for OS or snipe is really, it should depend on which spawn you get. Like if you have a really good avenue to the OS, then you should go for it. Other spawns don't have as good of an approach off the beginning, and they should go for snipe or try to look for fights in progress. So he has a pretty good avenue, and he goes for OS. And he's able to get it pretty much uncontested because that guy misses his jump, and 3 gets a nice 4 on him. As you can see, Smartan 427 has a very good connection in both this game and the last one. And sees the king, wasn't able to hit him with all 4 shots, and now the king is clearly committed to running away. He's too far down in shields, so I like to once I kind of have a good understanding of my opponent's intentions, I like to make my grenades become a factor. I probably would have tried to angle a grenade in there to cut him off, to either kill him with it or slow him down so I can catch him and shoot him. But so Smartan chases him. Smartan, one of the things I talked about in your last gameplay about how I thought you were overly reliant on your shot is sometimes it works to, like, you don't use your grenades to set up your kills because you know that your shot is so good that that you're going to finish most people with it. And sometimes it works against your zoning. I'll talk about that later. But this is one of those instances where I feel like if I'm thinking through your brain right now, I just want to shoot this guy to death, and you're not considering all your options. If he was a little smarter of a player, he probably would have ran up that blue ramp and kept this little game of ring around the rosy going, and it would have gotten real frustrating real quick. But he runs himself out into the open to try for a silly ninja, and let's see how that works out. I love that. I love making people pay when they try to ninja me. Just kind of let them know who they're dealing with. I would have done the exact same thing. But yeah, definitely a nice play on him. One of the things I like that you do when you play is every time you get a kill, you check your radar, and you're very good at telling who the biggest threat is, and you react to it right away. So there he is right there. You react, 2, 3, 4 shot on him. Nice shots. Trade out for the assault rifle. You're very good at your automatic weapons. You know how to zone them, as you'll demonstrate here in a minute. But what I would have done here in this instance, let's see what you do. That fight happening to your right, that's a double kill waiting to happen. I know you're getting shot at, so you're trying to get to safety, but I would have tried to back around that corner while attempting to steal the double, because those guys end up killing each other, and you're a little bit late on it. So kind of a missed opportunity right there, but not that big of a deal. Just try to be a bit more aware of those potential double kills, and be very aggressive about trying to take advantage of them. But here we find that this happens a lot in Dispatch. Check your radar right now. You are pinched, and given the donut-shaped nature of Dispatch and how people spawn on the perimeter on either side of you, This pinch happens a lot on Dispatch, and it's one of the reasons why I don't like it very much as a free-for-all map, especially in Regicide, because when you're the king, you got the arrow on you, and both guys want to go for you. It's just a very, very difficult situation to live through. Really, all you can do is pick a guy and go for him, and like run at him and force the engagement with the guy that you choose, so that you can put distance between you and the guy that you're not fighting. All things going perfectly, you kill the guy you go for, you get around a corner, and you try to bait the second guy over a good grenade, or in your case, you have the regen in your back pocket. Hopefully you kill the first guy, get around a corner, use the regen, and then you're fresh for the second guy. But the key, whenever you get pinched on Dispatch like this, pick a guy and go for him as fast as you can. That decision needs to happen ASAP, and you do a good job of that. Get around the corner, here comes the regen. Full shields for the second guy. Really nice play right there, and you use your regen again to get your shield. Unfortunately, you got an arrow in your head, a guy across the map sees you and snipes you. Not a lot you can do about that, but you played that situation very well. That's one of the goofy things about this gameplay. You'll notice as the video goes on, Smartan does this a lot. He's deploying that regen because he's hitting the X button to insta-spawn faster, but he's hitting it too many times, and he hits it once after he spawns to deploy his regen. So my advice there is just be a little bit calmer in your death screen and just try to hit the button one time and get a feel for the timing necessary to spawn quickly without having to mash the button. Alright, so looking off radar off spawn, there's no one around you. Typically when you die as king on Dispatch, it always tries to spawn you as far away from other players as it possibly can, because you're the objective. Just like when you die when you're not the objective, it usually will spawn you all the way across the map from the king. So you've got a little wiggle room here. Another thing I want to highlight right now, this game only has 6 people in it, so it's a little bit lower traffic, and these players aren't the most objective-minded players. They're not as aggressive going for you as some players are. So the nature of having less people in the game, it's gonna be easier for you to get power-ups. So you're able to move around the map a little bit more freely than you would in an 8-person game, especially with more objective-minded players. And so that's why you have success when you move around the map like this. So you go straight for the automatic weapon, dish out that magnum. As we know from you, you're very skilled with those automatics. You get a lot of use out of them. Now you've moved probably about 25% of the way around the map at this point, and you finally come across your first guy. You find a nice fight in progress here, able to steal the double, very nice. But you're moving around quite a bit, and I'm surprised you haven't run into more people yet. When you move around that much as king in a full game with everyone going for you, you would have already been in a fight, fighting for your life. In a normal game, you're going to want to play a little bit more passive to try to give yourself a better chance of getting your power-ups, and just kind of baiting people in and make them walk over your grenades. Because if you run around like that, you'll be in a 1v1 BR fight, 50% chance of winning in under 5 seconds. And then even if you win, you're shieldless and somebody's going to mop you up right away. And then you're giving away double point regicides, every few seconds because you're dying so much. You're going to want to slow down the game significantly to give yourself a chance at power-ups and not give away so many regicides. But in a 6-player game, you can get away with it a little bit more. Get away with moving around a little bit more. Alright, so we steal the double. One of them had a snipe. That's always fun. And see this guy coming on radar, try to line up the shot, but he's got good shots on you, kind of bouncing you around. You play that regen to give yourself a second chance, and lucky for you, somebody nades him. Get ready for the second guy. You put good nades out, predicting he's going to come around the box, but he's just more patient than either you or I expected him to be. I thought he was going to jump over the box too, but he waits for your nades and then he pushes you. But it gives you enough time to get that Kingtacular, and he pretty much has no chance right here. But he gets stolen before you can finish by the sniper. You scare the sniper behind cover and you wait for him. Good job lining up the shot with the snipe. Um, it's so much easier to snipe if you can put your reticle where it needs to be before the target gets there. That's one of the reasons why so many people struggle with sniping, is because they try to do too much with their right stick. In fact, let me back this up right here. I'm going to look at this real slow. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to edit out that theater mishap later on. But so highlighting trying to do as little with the right stick as possible with the sniper, and if you're able to put your reticle in position beforehand and then make your major adjustments with your left stick instead of your right, so that your right stick is only making tiny little adjustments, that's how you can make sniping easier. So here's what you do. You line up that reticle. You know he's crouching. You line up that reticle at head level, so when he comes around the corner, you're barely going to have to adjust your aim at all. And what I'd like to see you do is you kind of whip the right stick right there. What you'll find you might have more success with is if you just strafe right. If you don't even touch your right stick, or just barely touch your right stick, and you strafe right, that shot will become easier. It's because it's not always going to be that easy, but definitely a nice shot. You take him out anyways. Go for this next guy here. Jumps up in the box. Another good force shot with the BR. You have good aim. Get ready for the second guy. Just barely missed the headshot. Almost a 2-for-1 right there. And that's kind of probably the biggest choke of the game. The problem that you had was that you zoomed in on this guy. You don't want to be zoomed in with your BR on that guy. Let me find the problem there. See, like right there, you zoom in. You could have achieved red reticle by just walking forward just a bit. And the way you want to zone this fight is you want to keep him right at the edge of red reticle, and then back up as he charges you. But so you're not controlling the zoning of this fight very well, and you're zoomed in. So if you would have just zoomed out and backed up, you definitely would have had this. Because you can tell, like, when players just charge you like that, they're not confident in their aim. So either give them a really good strafe, or just deny them the melee, because they charge you like that because they can't shoot and they just want that vacuum lunge melee, so that they, God forbid, they have to line up a headshot. If you deny them the melee, they panic. They're not going to outshoot you. So just zone the fight to play to your strengths. Alright, so you see this guy down low, 4, and kind of a silly death there. Yeah, you could have had him from the ledge up top. Jumping out at him was a little bit reckless, and you paid for it, but you did end up getting the kill. More hitting the X button, trying to spawn too fast. Clean up that guy. Good job checking the radar right after you get the kill, and you set yourself up with a real nice grenade on that guy. That's a nice play. So find an AR and you swap out your Magnum. It's always good to have two very strong weapons. You do a really good job of that. It's a great idea. And checking your radar right here. You look down low. Good job of checking your radar and finding the fight in progress for the easy double. That's how it's done. I know you're watching that guy on your radar the whole time you're moving here. But you see that OS pop and you go for that. Good prioritization right there. It's definitely a better idea to go for the overshield than to go for that kill. And then once you have the overshield, I love this play. You had all those guys on your radar, but you don't go for any of them because it's way too dangerous. You'd be surrounded. Your OS would get melted off right away. It was definitely a much smarter play to get back to the perimeter of the map, then look back inwards and see if you can steal some of those kills. But you see this guy coming, and you deal with that first. This is an easy kill. He's right in your AR zone, and you have a full overshield. This guy has no chance. Definitely a good play there. And there you get the chance to look inward to see if there's still anybody left to get mopped up. Not really anything, but you got this guy on radar. You notice that right away, and you go for him. Here's the VR. All right, I'm going to slow this down a bit. He takes cover, and you know you want to finish him because you have every advantage in the world here. And you do a good job of switching to the assault rifle as you go in to close. And he unexpectedly runs out and gets a melee. Of course he's going to die, but he does melee. He does more damage to you. But I noticed that you switch to your assault rifle as you go in for the close range finish, and that was a good idea. this guy comes at you right afterwards. You do a good job of dodging his attacks and making him walk over grenades, because you know he's not going to slow down and play it tactically. He's just going to mindlessly run at you. So good job of using your grenades to punish him for that. And more guys coming on your radar. You do a good job checking radar after your kills. You know he's going to jump up here on snipe. And unfortunately, you thought you had a frag, but it was a pulse. And so it kind of blows up right there. But especially assault rifle, you're definitely in assault rifle range. Good play. And then you get your shield back. Great use of your regen again. And you hear the fight happening bottom mid. You see the 2 dots on your radar, so you move in to steal the double. Good play. There's 1. There's 2. React to your radar right away. This guy spawned right behind you, and you just destroy him. I love this play. Bam! Nasty triple right there. Almost get around. I know that if you would have got around that little corner, you'd have had that regen popped, and you probably would have got the overkill right there. But unfortunately, he had a little bit too much of a jump on you. Still a very nice play. Good job reacting to the threats on your radar. And here's more aggressive play as the king, going out looking for kills. That's the kind of stuff that's going to get you in trouble in an 8-player game where they're all trying to get regicides. These guys are all distracted with each other and they're not going for you. So you're running around the map as king. Find this guy who's distracted. Easy BR shots. Looking for the next fight. That guy sees you. No, so you're half shield, but it doesn't matter because you have a regen. So nice regen play, undoing the damage he did to you. Playing this guy on radar. He's trying to get to you. Make that guy walk over your grenade. Good play. Now here's a trend that I noticed with your gameplay. When you have like a big advantage with your BR, you tend to kind of finish sloppy with your battle rifle. You're great with your battle rifle in an even fight, but when it's like a foregone conclusion that you're going to win, you tend to let guys close in and melee you, or take more shots than's necessary. Make sure you keep good zoning with your battle rifle, and you back up and you deny him that damage, that big melee damage, because he takes a quarter of your overshield off that melee. That was unnecessary. You could have just backed up and kept plugging that guy. See this guy spawn on your radar over here. I know you saw that. You're ready for that. Move away from it. Trying to get this snipe over here. You're reacting to these guys on radar. Once you see that he's sniping, you know that he's distracted, so you move in to finish the distracted kill. Very smart. Unfortunately, he gets taken out from across the map. You're trying to find the sniper, pick up the storm rifle. I love this play right here. You have the storm rifle, and you instead of fighting him right away, you bait him in nice and close so you get the most out of that storm rifle. You bait him into your zone, which is a really smart play. And then easy storm rifle melee kill. You see the guy coming up behind you on radar, you run away, break line of sight. That's what you want to do when you're in trouble. When you know a guy's gunning for you and you're weak, you want to break line of sight. So you get around the corner, pop that regen, and now you're ready to go. See that the guy who was in front of you, he jetpacked up, took himself out of the play momentarily, and you recognize that he's a non-factor for about a second or two. That gives you time to deal with the guy behind you. So a smart play. You do another very patient. You bait him in with a storm rifle instead of fighting him right away. Very smart plays, and that gets you the win. You didn't even have to end up dealing with the jetpack guy. So some really smart gameplay in there. A few things you can work on, but overall that was really solid. You really demonstrate how to use the regen very well, and how to use automatics well. A lot of people think automatics are really underpowered, but no, you show exactly how to use it. It's all about zoning. You want to be close, but not close enough to melee, and you put yourself in that position a lot. You have some good positioning as king, particularly when you grabbed that overshield in the middle, and you got back to the perimeter of the map. That was a really solid play. You always do a good job of checking your radar after each kills, which sets you up for multi-kills quite a bit. As I talked about earlier, your aggressive play as the king is not going to be as good of an idea in 8-player games where they're really going for regicides. You're going to have fights just constantly on dispatch, and and you're going to give up too many regicides. So you're going to want to play a little bit slower, give yourself a chance at power-ups. You can get away with it in 6-player games, but not in a regular one. Work on your zoning with your battle rifle. If someone's charging you and you know you can shoot them to death, like this, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Being overly reliant on your connection, is because you know you can four-shot guys with your BR because you got a great shot, but you're undisciplined with your zoning with your battle rifle. You let guys get too close to you and land those melees and get into assault rifle range and whatnot. So work on backing up when you know a guy is trying to close the distance on you with your BR. Work on mashing the X button to insta-spawn. Try to get the timing down so where you can hit it just once and not be wasting the regen off the beginning. Just work on, sometimes you have lazy finishes when you have a big advantage. You're just like, oh, I'm going to get him, and I'm not too worried about it, and you'll give up like an unnecessary melee or something like that. Just finish like your life still depends on it, and you're gonna avoid a lot of damage. But overall, you're a very solid player. Your shots are very good, and you make a lot of really smart decisions. So hopefully, you're able to come away with some things to work on. Get a little, kind of improved from this whole process. But I really appreciate you sending me the gameplay. Hopefully you had as much fun with it as I did. I really enjoyed doing this. So folks, if you're watching this and you want to send me your gameplay, I'd be very happy to do it. Just send me a message on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is HARD space VVay, and let me know how to find your game. Put it up in one of your file shares. I don't care which Halo it is, Halo 3, Reach, 4, doesn't matter to me. And I'll check it out and do one of these for you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.